How is it going, everybody? Welcome to the stream. How's everybody doing today? First of all, can you guys hear me? Is everything all good? I don't want to show you that. This is what we're going to be talking about today, boys. So what's up, Gun Spawner, Psy Bubble, Dat Boy? In fact, what's up, Gun Spawner? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Baby Wall, how you doing? Izzy? No, not you, Legend. How is it going? Background character, what's up? Okay, so we got some stuff to talk about. All right, so just to dive straight into it, because we have a lot of product to talk about, boys. If you guys haven't seen it, I uploaded a YouTube video going over the new Beyblade X stuff. Okay, and in case you're interested, if you have not seen that video for whatever reason, oh, my dog's wanting to walk in. If you have not seen that video for whatever reason, okay, let me just go ahead and post it in the chat really quick. Okay, go and check it out. That is my video going over the Beyblade X news. If you want to watch it in a shorter format, I don't really go as in depth. There are some things that I definitely missed. And I also just want to talk to you guys about all the stuff that we saw. All right. So, what are you whining about? Sydney, come here. My dog's name is Sydney, by the way. You can't really see her. She's got black hair. Kind of hard to see. But we'll get into all of that. All right. So, starting off, let me go ahead and move my stream over to the other monitor. I'm only streaming in this normal format. I'm not doing the short form because I just didn't really feel like doing it today. So let me maximize that. All right, so here is the first bay, and I'm also going to see if this works. That's fine. That's not great. When does it come out? Apparently, it's going to be in summer. Okay, it is going to be in summer, although we don't know the exact time. Although Amazon, and I think just Amazon, said it was July 1st. Could have been a placeholder. I don't really know. By the way, Jake, the red Dran Buster isn't limited to 100. It's a 1 in 100 chance. Really? Are you for real? Oh. Well, that's huge. That changes like everything. That's crazy. So, but this is Sword Dran. Okay, I'm going to kind of rip through the starters because they're not as insane to talk about. I mean, it's cool, okay? But it's not like there's a lot to talk about considering they're basically the same as Takara Tomy, boys. They're basically the same, okay? Maybe there are some differences that we haven't quite seen yet, but the art's the same. The designs are the same. Everything is looking sick. Okay. There are 2-packs. That is true, Rainer. There are 2-packs and singles that have not been shown yet. We've only seen starters, an accessory, and 2 sets. Okay. We are winning. So these are the starters. Apparently, this is all of it as of Screen Rant. Okay, so Screen Rant got like the exclusive look. They said the starters are going to cost $9.99. Okay, $9.99, which is a really, really good price point. Yep, starters should be $9.99 from what I've seen. Could be wrong. Exactly right, which is a really good price point. I'm kind of surprised they're that cheap. I kind of don't want to believe it, honestly. I will be shocked if I go to Target or go to Walmart and I see that the bays aren't like $11.99 or $12.99, to be honest. I don't know why. I just feel like that's cheap. That's a good price. That's a great price. There are some drawbacks to that price. So let's look at the box really quick. I wish you could see my mouse cursor. Why can you not see my mouse cursor? Here, let me try and fix that so you can see. So I want you guys to be able to see my mouse. Capture cursor. Can you see it now? Maybe not. Oop. Oh, Yeah, you can see it right here. So, interesting. There's this Let It Rip tab. I was like, what is this? I thought it was just a design, Let It Rip. But then I saw some people talking about it on Twitter. I think one of them was like Peg on Twitter. What's up, Keemond? This could be like, it's like a perforated tab. So you could straight up grab it, and that's how you open up the box, is you literally let it rip, and you pull the rip cord. That is sick. That is cool. I don't think it's leak info, Alpha. I think it's like actually like an exclusive look that came from Hasbro, because they launched it on 3/21. So I assume that was like the what's it called? The embargo. It's called an embargo date. So none of this is from Hasbro, but it's from Screen Rant, and they're a pretty good source, I'd say. We are so back. Exactly, dude. Exactly, Evie. We are so back. But here's the box for Dran. All right, nothing really too crazy. Here's everything you get in the box. Okay, this is where we can see like the immediate like drawbacks. Okay, Sword Dran costing $9.99 USD, bro, for the first time since Burst Evolution. I go to a store. Yes, actually, honestly, guys, and I'll talk about this in a second. Even when Burst came around, there was negatives. Okay, so whenever we first got the line of Burst bays, Valtryek V2, and the box art was kind of trash. It was like really simple. Valtryek V2 did not look nearly as good. Okay, we also had slopes instead of teeth. The plastic was like way different, and people got used to it. And then Evolution was better. Evolution was better, but it was still not Takara Tomy quality. It was still worse, but not by a ton. And then it just got more worse over time. What's up, DW? Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you're here. Hasbro's making money. I hope so. I mean, if this is good, I hope people buy it. How much do they cost in Canada? I've heard, I don't know. Zanky might be a better source for that. I think because of Canadian prices, I want to say it's like $12 or $13.99 potentially. That's what I'm thinking. Here, give me 1 second. All right. That's just what I've heard. But Metal Fight, yeah, since Metal Fight. So it's been basically 14 years since we got like Takara Tomy quality. Okay, that's just crazy to me. But here's the drawback immediately is look at the launcher. Okay, look at this launcher. Okay, this launcher is the little proto launcher that came on the entry, the cheaper Dran sword. Right, so that one is, I think it was like basically the same price in Japan or something like that. W Hasbro, exactly. W Hasbro. But yeah, this launcher is garbage. This launcher sucks. If you got to use it, you got to use it. It's super tiny. Like even if you have tiny little baby hands, it's gonna be really tough. But you do have some other launcher options, which I'll talk about. But you can see like it's plastic. You can see like right here, that's holding the bay in. This is like a perforated tab. So you could see it. You can see the little cutouts. So in order to open up the box, you literally grab the tab and pull. That is crazy. Proto launcher is the only downside. There's some other potential downsides. But yeah, that is a downside, is that you are getting a worse launcher. But with the other options you have, I don't really think it's that big of a deal. Okay, I would probably still have this proto launcher over the little Hasbro launchers we got for Burst. Okay, it's not that great, but you have other options. So let's move on. Here's the back of the box. Attack type. You can see the Dran in action. Like that's such a sick picture, or like 3D model. It's because kids are having a hard time with normal. Really? Kids are having a hard time with the normal launchers? Wasn't there that clip of the little girl in Japan who like launched with the ripcord and then did like a 360 spin? I've seen like tons of Twitter posts about kids using them just fine in Japan. So maybe it's an American skill issue. But here we have Sword Dran. I will say it makes sense. But But I remember back in the day for Metal Fusion, we only had like English, right, on the boxes. And now, and then in Canada, it had the different languages. Now, pretty much everything has the different languages, which is good, of course, because, you know, it's not just English speakers. But I will say, it does make the box look more busy, having, like, attack type, and then 3 different ways, right spin in 3 different ways. It's got to explain everything in different languages. Makes the box a little chaotic sometimes. The set would be $70 to $80 Australian. I don't know. Australian money, I feel like doesn't even make sense. I feel like it's fake. Australian money is fake. Okay. What's up, Jacob? Hey, from Jacob to Jacob. What's up? 360 is the ratchet. It's kind of interesting. As you see up here, is this Dran sword? What Beyblade is this? Yeah, oh, this is Dran dagger. Interesting. Why is dagger on the box? Is that like on every box? I didn't notice that. But dagger is on the box. That's interesting. What's up, Blade Dasher? How you doing? Yeah, but 360, we see the attack, all the different stats that really don't mean anything at all, to be honest with you. They're really like fake. They're fake stats. And then you have the F bit right here, and everything looks the same. I mean, you still see like it's like translucent plastic, which we like didn't exist for Beyblade Burst. It had to be cloudy. Doesn't look like it's going to be cloudy here. Includes 1 Beyblade top, T licensing, 80K. The T licensing is new. Okay, happy Beyblade Day, everybody. Kind of forgot today is Beyblade Day. Even though I did a stream yesterday, that was like 10 o'clock. That wasn't technically, but we are in Beyblade Day. This is Beyblade Day, boys. But yeah, so that's Dran's, or Sword Dran. Let's move on to Hells. Here we have Hells. Same box. I don't really want to go over the box again. But you can see, sorry, not Hells. A Scythe Incendio. I've got to get used to that. And you can see like the skull. I'm kind of surprised that I got a comment from this earlier. Kind of surprised they didn't change the design. You know, it's a flaming skull. Maybe that would have been too edgy for Hasbro to do. But no, they kept the skull. They kept the horns as well. I thought maybe they'd get rid of the horns at least. That's interesting. Okay, I'll take that. Yeah, it does say Takara Tomy, but that doesn't really mean much because Takara Tomy logos on some of the Pro Series stuff too, and even then that had its issues. So there's also Takara Tomy on some of like the Transformers stuff, and that doesn't really say much. Do you think the parts will be compatible with Takara Tomy? I mean, unless they radically, we don't. I don't. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say yes. They are gonna be compatible with Takara Tomy. Is what I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna put it out there. But we haven't seen it. I'm not going to say yes to that fully until I have Hasbro and Takara Tomy and I can combine them. Okay, so I don't know. So it's interesting that Hasbro did not change the flaming skull, but cool. I mean, getting rid of Hell in the name makes sense. Okay, Scythe Incendio, I think that's fine. That's a fine name, but it looks the same. It looks the same. It has to. There's no way it wouldn't be compatible to Takara Tomy base. Yeah, I mean, that's like I have to be really stretching to like say no, and I'm only saying maybe not because it's not confirmed yet. That's pretty much it. Otherwise, yes. I'm just gonna say yes. But here's Scythe Incendio Beast Mode. If you want to see the stats here, we have 460. We have the taper bit. With the high burst rate resistance, and there's all the parts. There you go. Those are all the parts. Okay, the release is in July or June. That's what I've seen on Amazon. They've said summer, but they haven't given like I don't think they're gonna give a specific date. It's not like Takara Tomy where they say this is gonna be out like March 30th. We don't really know. Okay, yeah. So we'll move on. Here is Helm Knight, the Hasbro version of Night Shield. Oh, what's up, Jojo? Yo, legend in the chat. Everybody say what's up to Jojo. Okay, Beyblade legend. I appreciate you joining in. I think you're about to stream in the next like half hour, right, on Twitch. I might be done by then, so if anybody is watching me and wants to go watch JoJo after I'm done, she's on Twitch, so go check it out. Zenki say it might release earlier because of Hasbro being... It could, definitely. I mean, Hasbro, some stuff gets leaked all the time. Notice how the bits don't have their full name shown on any of the boxes. Really? Am I stupid? True. Yeah, that's true. It says in. But I'd rather have... I'm fine. I'm okay with that. I mean, it's kind of hard. We're still going to call it needle, and it's like... Well, yo, what bit are you using? I'm using F. No, I'm using N. I'm using L. That's kind of lame. But I'm glad it's not like TA46. Like, they fixed it. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. You know? But here's the box. And yeah, so Dran Dagger is on all the boxes. Okay, good to know. But Helm Knight, 380, and Needle. I give Hasbro 2 years before they start nerfing things again. They always start with TT quality. Did they start with They didn't start with TT quality for Burst, and I don't remember that being a part of their advertising either. So like Burst was kind of screwed from the start. It was just got worse over time. It got better and then it got worse. But still, I mean, that's talking about 2.5, 3 years from now. Like Takara Tomy could goof Beyblade X. Like next year we could get Beyblade X or whatever the next lineup is, and it somehow ruins. Anything could happen. So it's important to focus on what this year will be. And we know that this year for Hasbro, just from the product side, everything is looking really good. Yo, what's up? Welcome. Was there a price listed for the starters? Yeah, so we only got starters revealed. We have not seen any boosters or double packs. We've seen some accessories in a set. Yeah, the prices, according to Screen Rant, which is kind of what revealed all this information, is $9.99. $9.99 USD for a starter. And the starters kind of come with crappy launchers, but whatever, okay? Oh, we're on the same page, right? Did Hasbro even start with TT? There are some issues with Metal Fusion, too, for sure. I mean, first of all, they fixed it with Metal Masters, but the non-painted face bolts, that was kind of a major L. That's why a lot of Metal Fusion bays don't really look as good, because they don't have paint, or they don't have painted, whatever it's called, face bolts. But I remember some of the plastics looking a little bit worse, too. Metal Masters definitely improved things, and then it went downhill for Metal Fury. But it's more rare at this point that we get. I mean, we haven't gotten like Takara Tomy quality stuff in like 14 years. Since 2010. Or 2011, I guess. Or 13. Ooh. Yeah, that's Helm Knight. Here is Wizard. We have Arrow Wizard 480B. We can see the Arrow Wizard right here. Let it rip with the shh. And you can see the plastic looks pretty good. It looks very similar, if not the same, compared to Takara Tomy. Yeah, that is. It's a good... $9.99 is a good price. And I think these launchers are around the same quality or performance as the launchers they were giving us before with Burst, except it's X now, you know? But here's Arrow Wizard. Let me see the stats. 480. B for ball. Also, from what I've seen, like let's go back to Dran really quick. This is the updated model. So you see how it's like rounded right here instead of sharp? That means that it's the updated model of Dran's sword, which is kind of to be expected. You know, Takara Tomy kind of fixes some model stuff over time with some releases. Like they did it with Phoenix, I think. Or they started with the change in Phoenix. They fixed Dran's sword at one point. So all the Hasbro stuff is going to be the latest stuff, right? So here, now boys, now we get into hype. Ready? Are you ready? Now we get into pure peak. Oh, This is so sick. This is so sick. Baylogger app. I'll talk about the app in a second from what I've seen. But this is sick. This is cool. The tops will also have scan codes. Yes, so I'll talk about that after I'm done with the products. I'm not bullish on that. I have my problems, and we'll talk about it here in a second. But this is peak. This is peak right here. And the price for this is apparently $19.99. $20. $20. Which is remember this, guys. Okay? Remember this. Actually, not even remember this. I'm just going to show you. So this set is the Soar Phoenix, like the deluxe string launcher set. This, according to Screen Rant, is $19.99. Okay? Do you want to know what was... I'm trying to pull up the image. Sorry about that. Do you guys want to know what else was $19.99? No, not $19.99. Do you want to know what product was $5 more expensive than this? And remember, full metal bay, not full metal, there is some plastic, but metal bay with a good quality string launcher that has the Phoenix motif, that has some problems. Maybe I'll show it to you later. But really good quality bay with paint, red launcher, $19.99. You want to know what was more expensive? This thing. Is this a joke? This is the best package. This was $24.99. This was $25. How is this? This is why I kind of don't believe the pricing for Beyblade X. I think it's underreported for some reason. I'm not confident because there is no way to me. There is no way that this garbage that I even made a video about, I used it once or twice. This was $24.99 at Target whenever it came out. You have a pretty trash quality plastic. It didn't even look that good. Like, this looks good. This, for some reason, looks good. The paint quality and the color does not nearly look as vibrant. This has been touched up for sure. Same with like this. This is not reflective. This looks like it has reflective paint on the ripcord sword garbage. Okay, it did not look like that at all. Okay, if it looked like this, maybe it'd be worth about $10, but it's worth nothing to me. Okay, maybe all the costs went into this really nice box. I don't know, but this was $24.99. Meanwhile, this entire package is $20. Is it made out of Play-Doh? Yeah, I mean, it looked like it. Quadrive is the greatest line of Beyblade of all time. All right, Lamar. Oh, okay, the memer himself. But yeah, I mean, honestly, that's what I was getting from it. But I think my Tiger's iPhone Excalibur was like 37 shipped. Yeah, so that's the issue with getting, like, with Takara Tomy, is that it's always going to cost more. It's getting cheaper and cheaper as time goes on. Maybe Hasbro noticed that, like with Mall of Toys, Bays and Bricks. I mean, you're able to get stuff for pretty good price, and it's getting better and better. I can confirm the battle set is $49.99. So if you can confirm that and that's true, then the pricing for all this should be true too. But yeah, we have it even says Beyblade X string launcher on it. Like, they didn't remove that detail. It looks the same. The only thing that I notice is the sticker. The sticker is odd. For some reason, it looks kind of photoshopped, maybe. It looks really, like, this is a pretty high quality picture of, like, the blade. But for some reason, the sticker looks like temporary. It looks just kind of low quality. And also the Phoenix is really low down, and you see how there's this much blank space in the red up here. That's a problem. And let me pull up the wing, or Phoenix wing. God, the Hasbro name change is already getting to me. Phoenix. Let me get the... No, not Phoenix Wings. Phoenix Wing Beyblade. I gotta find a good picture of it to show you. Open image, a new tab. Oop, that's not right. Okay. So here's the Takara Tomy Phoenix Wing, right? And if we can zoom in a little bit, you can see how it's like centered. You can see how it's like centered right here. You can see the Phoenix, the bottom of the Phoenix talons. Like you can see that, right? It's like that's how it should be. Meanwhile, for where'd my picture of Phoenix go? Are you? Come on, bruh. So there's that. And then if you look at this, it's like off center. So that's interesting. That's interesting. I'm hoping it's a problem. I'm hoping that this is like a production issue, or they had to like Photoshop like a sticker or do like a rough printout of a sticker or something. Because look at the box. It doesn't look like that on the box, right? Yeah, like if you look at the box right here, it doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like that on this side of the box right here. It only looks like it right here. So I'm surprised that made it through quality control, to be honest. But that's Phoenix. On the back, you see Soar Phoenix. You see some of the stadium and the size of the stadium, which is something we'll talk about. I did not mention it in my YouTube video going over it because I didn't notice it until later. We have the 960 ratchet. We have the gear flat bit. These look like Takara Tomy pictures. Like these are definitely Takara Tomy 3D model pictures that I've talked about in news videos that you guys have seen plenty of times. What Hasbro exclusive bays do you like to see? I want to see a pirate avatar. Like they already have like the Shinobi and Ninja, Samurai, Shinobi and Samurai, and that was pretty much that's what I wanted. But yeah, so that's Soar Phoenix, and the price of this is supposed to be like $20. Beast. This is a great value for $20. This is amazing value for $20. Because yeah, $20. Like that could be that, you know, that could be not a lot to some people. That could be a lot to some people. That's why if you're spending $20, you want to get at least a good quality string launcher and a painted red Beyblade. You know, at least you get that. You're not getting that Excalius Play-Doh garbage, okay? Or you're getting a Pro Series Bay with some random parts, and it's a Pro Series Bay, the Pro Series version of a Takara Tomy Beyblade that came out like 3 years before. This is like, boom, this is what you need right here. This is great. This is perfect. This is going to be like, if I had to recommend anything from Beyblade X to somebody for the Hasbro side, it would maybe be the battle set, although the stadium I don't know about, but definitely this. Definitely this. So now let's talk about the set. Let's talk about this set. Actually, really quick, let me go back to this. I want to show you another launcher option that I forgot to bring the picture on for. Where is it at? Oh, here we go. This is a bit of an L. I see a QR code behind a blade and it covers screw of the ratchet. What? You see a QR code? Interesting. Well, we'll look at that later. I'll talk about that later. This is an option. We got the listing for this a little while ago. This is going to be like $7.99 or $8. I don't like all this text on the package. It's kind of crazy. Like this is fine, but all this text, I don't think these are going to sell that well for some reason. Or Hasbro's not going to make that many of them. I just get weird vibes from this. But they're selling the really good quality ripcord launchers separately. You don't get them in the starters like you did, like for Takara Tomy. Maybe that explains the price. I don't know. But it's $8. You only got to buy one of them if you want, or you just buy the string launcher. I really like the ripcord launchers for X. The ripcord launchers for X are fantastic, okay? They're really powerful. They're really, really strong. That's what I use. Like, typically, sometimes I'll use string launcher just because it's easier to go or to launch and put one back on and then go again. Whenever I'm battling for like YouTube videos, or I'm battling like for a tournament or something, and I went to a tournament recently, I use the ripcord launchers. Okay, harder to control, but the power you get from them are crazy. And remember that for Beyblade Burst, we got another launcher off the start. Okay, there was another launcher that we got, and I'm trying to pull this picture up for you guys that I want you guys to remember. Does anybody remember this thing? This is in pretty poor condition too, but we got this at the beginning of Beyblade Burst. It was fun to make a sword out of it. I had a lot of fun making my video on this like 7 years ago. But this was like $4.99 or something, and this was not that good. You kind of had to use this by default because you had no other options. But it still had a trash ripcord. It was not good at all. So this for $5 is a massive L. Like, it's not worth it. Them splitting this away from the starters, bit of an L, okay? But if, and it's like really they don't have to, it's because of money, right? I would rather them make it separate, because if you have a big Beyblade collection, you don't really care about having a million launchers. You have your launcher that you use, and you have your backups just in case it breaks, especially for Takara Tomy. Takara Tomy string launchers for Burst would break all the time, so you had to have extras for those. But instead of having a bunch of these ripcord launchers, I mean, if you have like 2 or 3, it's whatever. But if you like a collector, having all these launchers around that you don't use is like annoying. Okay, so would you rather spend $9.99 on the starters that don't have the nice launcher and have like a crappy one, or would you rather spend like $13 or $12 for the ones that do? I'd rather spend less money to get the bay and then buy the launcher I want separately. Okay? So tired of launchers, I have so many. Exactly. Like, they're really good, but at some point you don't need them. You don't need them. That's why I'm kind of hoping we get good boosters, you know, because boosters are good in that they don't give you launchers you don't need. So I'd rather spend less to get the bay itself for cheaper. And also, to the brain, seeing $9.99 looks better than $10.99. It's $1. It's only $1. But seeing 3 digits instead of 4 makes a big difference. Okay? I don't know. Maybe there's like some mental like psychology on that. I have no idea. But you have the winder. That's dope. Okay? Sucks you have to pay for it separately, but it's like one of those things where you buy it once or you buy it twice, you buy it thrice if you have to, and then you never have to worry about it again. Unless something breaks, but I haven't had any of my launchers break. Okay. Do you think, Machadin says, do y'all think Hasbro will have a launcher grip release? I'm really hoping we do. They have not had a great track record of launcher grips, so that's what I'm kind of worried about. Metal Fusion, they had some that released, like you said. For Burst, yeah, for Burst, they didn't have any. Besides, like, the Master Grip launcher, which was kind of long as, like, a grip. But, yeah, I hope we get a grip release. It'd be interesting to see how they do it, though. Because buying a grip isn't super... Like, if you're buying a launcher, it launches. A grip doesn't have the same, like, oomph to, like, more normal, more casual Beyblade fans. But it's one of those things where you kind of need it. Oh, here's the Phoenix box. So here is the set. the Extreme Battle Set. And I've got some interesting things to say about this, okay? I have another theory why they have the itty-bitty launchers for the launchers instead of the light launch. Wait, what? I have another theory why they have the itty-bitty launchers for the starters instead of the light launchers to hopefully lessen injuries to young kids. Yeah, part of me thinks that because the tiny proto launcher is so small, though, I feel like that's going to catch some fingers more. At least for the big launchers, even though they're more powerful, which is the thing. It's kind of, I could see that. The power is one thing. I just feel like your more fingers will get caught. But that is a good point. That is a good point. But, yeah. So this is really interesting to me. So first of all, the box art is cool. It's kind of muted. I wish it was a little bit more vibrant, but maybe it's just the picture. Like everything looks kind of low contrast and low saturation here. But it's the Extreme Battle Set. You get Dragger Dan. That's crazy. Dagger Dran. Okay. 460 R or Rush. And we get our first look at an exclusive Hasbro only bay. And that is Tusk Mammoth 360T. 360T. This is okay. So just to add some context to this, we knew for a while we were going to get some sort of Hasbro exclusive. There was like Killer Croc, Bite Croc, Yell Kong, Shinobi, Samurai, whatever. Okay. But we didn't really know what the bays looked like. So you couldn't really say, this bay is going to be metal. It's going to be awesome, because we didn't know. And because it's Hasbro, we thought the worst. So this is our first look at a Hasbro exclusive that I think is really exciting. There is some negativity for it that I see that I'll talk about whenever I show the better picture of it. But if this is going to be what we see for the Hasbro exclusive bays, then we're set. Oh, what's up, Blue? What's up, Blue Hunter? Do you think they will do a Beyblade case to store the bays? I think they will, but I mean, they did one for Beyblade Burst. It'll just be its own. Did they do one? They did one for Metal Fusion. Did they do one for Beyblade Burst? I thought they did, because I want to say they sent me one. It was a long time ago, though. But yeah, a case would be cool that you could stack together like Bakugan cases. Tusk looks like Hell's Chain. So that's what I'll talk about. It's mainly the color scheme. That's what's kind of getting people. So let's move on to the next picture. Let's look at the back, okay? So here we have Dragger Dan. And, we're getting in a set, which is kind of lame in its own ways. It's like locking an important Beyblade in a set is kind of unfortunate. But especially because in the anime, eventually, Jackson Cross. It's a little crazy. It's growing on me. Jackson Cross, which is the Hasbro or the dubbed name for X-Cross or XX, is Jackson, and it's pretty cool. Jaxon too, with an X in them. That's cool. I think they did a good job with that. I think they really thought that through, which I appreciate. So locking parts behind a set kind of sucks, but at least it's not like a recolor. I'd rather be like this than get a Dran sword recolor and then Tusk, because now you have a whole new product that you want to buy, right? Because you get a Dagger Dran, which I don't think is in anything else, at least in this color scheme. Maybe it's in like a double pack. You're getting Tusk Mammoth, which is exclusive to this set, and then you're getting the stadiums. Okay. Why does Hasbro mimic the stadiums now? It's not a full mimic, okay? We would prefer it to be a full mimic, but it's not quite the same. Yeah, whitewash X. I didn't even think of that. But here we have Tusk Mammoth on the side with 360 and taper, or T. Pretty much the same exact part combination as Scythe Incendio, or Hell's Scythe, but it's just in a different color. But you see the stadium, you see the parts. Dude, I have so much zooming I need to do. So the first thing we're going to look at, I don't even think you guys can you guys even see this? It's like way off to the side. Bro. Boop. Slide it over, okay? The Hasbro Stadium does seem smaller, and I'll show. Someone sent a comparison in my Discord, and it is smaller in a certain way, but there is an app for parents. Check apps.hasbro for availability. Fees may apply, and it just says that in a cajillion different amounts of languages and all the warning texts down here, so they don't have to print off regional variants. But there is an X app. I'll talk more about the app here in a sec. No, actually, now's a fine time. So the X app, from what I've seen, and let me go to my Discord. This was sent in my Discord. I don't know if it's on Screen Rant. I don't really know where the full source is. But I think it's in Screen Rant. I just maybe missed it. But the quote is, "Take Beyblade skills to the next level and compete in digital battles. Parents, scan the code on Beyblade X tops to battle in the Beyblade X app with Beyblade X app to unleash your top in a virtual battle with other bladers worldwide." And then it says Beyblade X Takara Tomy, blah blah blah. So, I'm gonna say, someone earlier said Baylogger. No, Baylogger isn't coming. Okay, sucks, but I get it. I don't really think it would work here in the West, unfortunately. So what I'm getting from this, and what I'm getting from this app, okay, this app right here, is that it's basically going to be kind of a reskin of the Beyblade Burst app, which it got kind of bad later on, but the Beyblade Burst app was really not that bad. I didn't care for it because I'd rather play with, it just wasn't my thing. Just like the Roblox stuff for Beyblade X isn't horrible, I don't think. It's just kind of low effort maybe. It looks kind of cool in the little hub area, but I don't play that, so I don't care. Why is my hand's blurry? Because I suck at this program I'm streaming with. I mainly use this, and it's blurred, so that way the chat pops out a little bit more, but I don't know how to get rid of that for this view. So it's just blurry. Okay, whatever. But yeah, it's basically going to be a copy of the Beyblade X, or the Beyblade Burst app, which isn't the worst thing. You know, it's fine. Because really, I just hope that they maybe bring some features over to a certain degree. Like, doing the training battles would be cool. Being able to get points would be cool, even if you use those points to unlock, like, skins, maybe, which is kind of stupid, but it's something, okay? I don't want all the Beyblade X app stuff just to go away, but I don't want the gacha. I don't want to have to try and they were never going to do it, but if they did, I would not want just... Oh, what's up, Nate? How's it going, Nate? I just wouldn't want to, and I don't think anybody would want to spend points that they get from buying Beyblades to try and get Cobalt Drake. It just wouldn't work. And how that works in Japan, I don't know. I don't know how people are down for that. But Japan and Korea and whatnot are much bigger into their gacha games than here in the U.S. In the U.S., we just deal with microtransactions and video games, okay? But I see how that wouldn't fly. So I'm glad it's not there, but I hope some of the features do come over. And I hope it's not just a reskin of the X app. I hope there's something that makes it different. But yeah. Also, remember this. Remember, for later, remember the shape. Remember the shape of the stadium here. Okay? It's a rectangle. It is not a square. It is a rectangle. Okay? What's up, Nico? How's it going? So there's some problems with that. All right, but we'll talk about that in a second. So here's the parts. Here's everything you get, and you can see the stadium already looks way different. It does not look similar. I mean, it has the similar idea and the Beyblade X and whatever, but it's definitely really small looking. Here, let me look. Beyblade X Stadium. I'm trying to get a good picture. Yeah, I'm trying to get a good picture for you guys. No, this is a web. I'll just open this one then. Should have had this prepared already. That's my bad, guys. Okay, so here is this, and I'll bring this over, but you can kind of see straight off rip that there are some issues or some things that don't quite add up fully. Okay, so this is very square. Meanwhile, the Hasbro one, that's not a great picture. The Hasbro one is very rectangular. It's squished. And just to show you how squished it is, what am I doing? What the? Everything broke. To show you how squished it is, literally breaks everything. Here, let me go back to the box, or the back of the box. Okay, so look at this. Okay, look at the Hasbro one. Ready? And I'll show a better picture here in a second. But you can see how it's squeezed in. It is squeezed in. And in my Discord, No Not You posted this, which just shows you the comparison. I think we're close to Flame Brand. I've never had a Flame Brand stadium. I don't know if they're good or not, but I don't really mess with fake stadiums like that. But you can see how it's so squished. And it looks like, yeah, it's just because it's turned. It looks more squished than it does in this picture, but that's just because it's turned the other direction. But yeah, you can see it's squished. It's longer. Some people are saying it's going to make the bays more powerful. I don't think so. I think it's going to make it more chaotic. They also made the pockets smaller, I think. Yeah, the pockets definitely look a little bit smaller. The extreme knockout zone is smaller. And everything is way more focused to this. So there's not going to be nearly as much action over here, right? There's less space over here for the bays to kind of chill out for a second. So it's going to be boom, 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 catching. It's going to catch every 5 seconds, which maybe isn't bad. Maybe that could be cool. But at the end of the day, if you can do it, I'm probably still going to recommend you use the Takara Tomy Stadium. And that's probably still what I'm going to rock like in tournaments and stuff that I go to. Because I do plan on going to more tournaments this generation as compared to Burst. Even if they're not WBO, even if it's like local ones, I'll try this out. It'd be interesting to see how different it is, but I'm still going to stick with the original. And I wish Hasbro would have given us the original, but at least we get the X gears. At least we get, I'd say 90% of it. You think it's a bit big in the TT Stadium? Maybe. But at least for the TT Stadium, I don't know. I mean, that's interesting. I mean, that is a valid point, I'd say. It is a little large. But I still feel like it still works out just fine, or as I'd expected, or if I'd want it to. Zoom in on the pockets. I don't really have a great picture of the pockets. So we'll go with this. Oh, Lord, I zoomed out. Actually, no, let's do the comparison picture. So now you can compare the pockets. Like the extreme zone is definitely smaller, way smaller, like probably like 60% of the size maybe. And the pockets are differently shaped and they're smaller as well. So I think you're going to get less. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. You've been to tournaments. I really want to go to one. How was the experience? It was fun. It was not WBO. It was not official or anything. It was like a local thing with people who mainly are into like TCG and stuff. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun being in that environment, and all adults as well. So it was fun. It was fun. But so yeah, you can see that there are definitely some differences, and I think we're gonna have to wait and see how severe these differences are. But I don't think it's not worth it. I think it's still worth it, but you're probably gonna get 80 to 90% of the experience. It's gonna be a little different. Okay. So I'm always gonna recommend try and get the Takara Tomy Stadium if you can. They're not that expensive, but the price you pay for them is worth it, because unless you step on them, you're going to be using them for a while. Like I've been using my Burst Stadium that I used in videos. I think I used it in my most recent Classic Clash battle video. I've been using that stadium for years. I just take good care of it. I put it away. I don't store my Beyblades in it. Although if you do that, you got to do what you got to do. Just be careful with it and don't step on it and break it, because it is plastic. It'll last forever. It'll be relevant for a long time. Some of these X-Bays you're using right now may not be relevant a year or two from now, but the stadium probably will be. It's Hasbro. I expect a bunch of different stadiums. I'd like to put out a straight-up TT clone stadium at some point. Yeah, I was just kind of hoping this would be the TT clone, because I'm pretty sure, like we always do, we're going to get a stadium that releases separately that's cheaper. And I don't know what they're going to do for that. I think this Extreme Ridge is going to be different. I don't think it's going to be a normal X line. It's going to be more Slingshot-ish, I think. But they've already surprised me, so I don't know. Here's the top view of the stadium, where it looks really tall, but it's really not, and how it all fits together. You can see how the plastic quality is probably going to be kind of cheap. When will they release it in Europe? I've seen that they're releasing it. I've seen that they're releasing it in the UK. It was like a UK magazine. It said autumn/winter. So it's going to be a few months behind from what I've seen. Maybe that's like a logistics issue, or they wanted to launch it in one area first. But so probably 2 to 4 months after it releases here in the West. That's kind of what I'm getting from it. And let's look at Mammoth. This looks badass. This looks sick. I like this. Okay? This is a CGI model, okay? But this is cool. This is cool. I like the it's a little simple. It's not as edgy. You know, it wasn't developed with the same energy as for Takara Tomy, but I like the Mammoth. That is sick. One of my favorite Pokemon is Mamoswine, okay? So seeing this is awesome, man. The tusks look cool. I like the design of these look, I think like these look like tusks to me. Like this is like a tusk. I don't know. I'll have to like kind of look at the bay to see like how the metal looks and whatever. But this is cool. Some people were saying it's very similar to Hell's Chain. Some people were saying it's very similar to Hell's Scythe, and like it's kind of designing a little bit, which I could definitely see. But I'll still take this. I mean, Phoenix Feather had like the same inner plastic as Dran's sword, but do I still want it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Looks like it could be heavy. Potentially. I don't really know how thick it is. We don't really see an idea for how thick it is, but I'm assuming it'll probably be around the same weight as Hell's Chain. It's very similar. But here it is in like the metal, and it just looks good. It looks good. I'll take that. But yeah, this model looks awesome. I'm honestly, I wonder if, since Hasbro is doing a ton of exclusives, if there's going to be a new like export market, you know, like for, because people in Japan, since Beyblade's a pretty big hobby over there, right? I've seen people on Twitter that have like multiple, like tons of copies of these bays for like collection and competition sake, etc. So if we have this and in Japan they don't, I wonder if people from Japan are going to be importing this. And I mean, obviously some people are, just like how we in the US, or me in the US, you guys might be in the UK, Canada, whatever, import Takara Tomy. There's less reason to import Hasbro because they're worse, but they're not worse anymore, probably, potentially. So I wonder how many people in Japan are going to be trying to import not just Mammoth, but the Croc one, Shinobi, not Shinobi. Shinobi? Yeah, Shinobi, Samurai, or all the other ones. The Star Wars ones, maybe. That's be crazy. I was hoping Hasbro did a double pack with Hell's Chain and Dran Dagger. Some people were saying that, but I never really saw that happening. I was sort of hoping that Dran Dagger would be sold on its own. There's just no reason to sell them together. Like, it'd be good for us and it'd be good for consumers, so you could just buy it and you have both of the main character bays, but that's less money for Hasbro. Why would they do that when they could put this in a set and they put Hell's Chain in a double pack? They got to make you spend more money. Japanese seeing Tusk and wanting it, but only can get it through shipping. Oh, wait. Japanese seeing Tusk and wanting it, but only can get it through shipping. How the turns have tabled. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Now they got to know our pain of importing Takara Tomy bays. Okay? Ilinnuc, they released an English teaser. I did see that. I'll look at it probably here in a second. Maybe after this releases, we could see an open market to buy either or instead of having to go through sites like Bays and Bricks. I mean, at the end of the day, if Hasbro is looking like it's going to be the same quality, right? Maybe some differences with like some plastic quality, whatever. So really, once this stuff comes out, the market to get Takara, unless you want the points or you just want Takara Tomy boxes, there's going to really not be any point to buy a Takara Tomy Dran sword. Why buy a Takara Tomy? I mean, Dran Dagger, you got to get a whole set for it, but it's still probably cheaper, but at least you get some other bays. There's more of a reason to buy Takara Tomy Dran Dagger, but there's less reasons to buy all of these, like Dran and Incendio and Helm and Arrow. Like, you don't have to buy these from Takara Tomy anymore. You can just get them for Hasbro, and they're basically the same, right? Or I say basically because I don't have them yet, but I assume they're the exact same. But what's up, Alan? Yo, Ilinnuc just joined the stream. Been a fan since Burst Saga, so like around 5 to 7 years. That's crazy. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a ton. Thank you for sticking around this long and sticking around to see multiple generations. It's a fun time to be a Beyblade fan. It was 2015. So 8 years ago. Wait, 2015 is when it came out in Japan. So yeah, that was 9 years. 9 years ago is when when the new generation started in Japan. So, and then before that was 2009. That was 6 years before that. So, I mean, seeing a new generation's awesome. You know, it's super, and being there for it and talking about this is really exciting. You know, to see that not only is Takara Tomy doing well and the bays are selling really well, but also Hasbro's nailing it so far. But what I was saying about the importing is there's really no reason to buy these earlier release bays from, you know, reselling sites anymore. Unless you want the Takara Tomy stuff or there's some big flaw that we don't know about yet. But Takara Tomy is always a year ahead, right? And if you want to wait the several months, probably long time, to get Dran Buster and Hell's Hammer. And those bays are like $20-ish on Mall of Toys right now. So if you want, and they'll probably be maybe $10 to $12 for Hasbro. So if you want to save $10 and wait 6 to 8 months, you can. Or if you want to be up to date and know, and because a lot of people on YouTube, like me, Zanky, a lot of people get the Takara Tomy stuff or Takara Tomy mains. If you want to get the newer stuff, then there's the reason for it. But if you're still waiting to buy stuff and you're okay with waiting and to maybe save a little bit of money, there you go. There you go. And that's awesome. It's awesome to have flexibility to where you can get Hasbro stuff for the earlier releases, and then you can go through Takara Tomy to get some of the hype or more rare stuff if you want to later on. World Championship for all ages. Yeah, so I talked about that in my last stream. We saw it. It was like a teaser. It kind of reminded me of like a Pokemon Direct. It was cool. It was definitely like a proof of concept. It's not like it's announcing anything. It's more like, this is what could happen. It could happen. We could have people in Italy battling in world tournaments and blah, blah, blah. But they're doing an Asian Grand Prix. But I think we're going to have to wait and see what Hasbro decides to do for here in the West. But I would love to see a world championship. I'd love to see an open world championship, and I'd like to go. I'd like to be a part of it. I'll crush a little 12-year-old's dreams. I don't care. I don't care if it's open. If I have the ability to go up against a 12-year-old, maybe I get wrecked. I don't know. I don't think I would. I'd gloat. I'd laugh in his face. I wouldn't laugh in his face. Probably would. Yeah, I wouldn't wait if you want to be meta relevant. Yeah, it just depends on what you enjoy. Some people are Hasbro only, or Hasbro's all they know about. Like, as soon as this stuff is on shelves, let me go to an actually interesting picture. It's not just a launcher. As soon as this stuff is on shelves, we're going to get a brand new swash of like new fans, right? And those new fans are going to eventually, who don't even know, maybe not even know about Beyblade, or just very lightly. Maybe they weren't old enough for whenever Burst was super relevant, or they didn't care about it because it was trash because Hasbro. They see this and they might be interested. They get this. I'm not a bully. I'm not a bully. It's friendly competition, okay? It's friendly competition. But it's going to bring in new fans, right? And they are going to see this. Also, I like how they kept the Japanese text. I didn't even notice that. They literally kept the Japanese text there. That is awesome. That is a detail I didn't remember, or I didn't see. That's cool. Yeah, it looks like Takara Tomy bays under Hasbro branding. Yeah, it's like co-branded, right? But it's going to bring in new fans, and then those new fans are going to look into YouTube, or they're going to look it up, and they're going to find sites like Mall of Toys, and they're going to see Dran Buster, and it's like, whoa, this looks cool. Purchase. You know, so you have different options. Like, you have Hasbro stuff, which is good quality. You have Takara Tomy stuff, which is great quality, and it's newer. It's all the newer stuff. It's awesome. You know, I'm hyped. I'm hyped. I'm super, super hyped. So we pretty much talked about most of everything. We did see this. This was posted by No Not You in my Discord just like 2 seconds ago. You can see on the Arrow Wizard, you can see a little bit of the QR code. So there are QR codes on the bays, just like there was for Beyblade Burst. And it's probably going to work the exact same way. Or basically the exact same way. So yeah, Mammoth Tusk looks cool. Is there an official release date yet? There isn't a release date, but it's estimated around like July. It's summer, but Amazon said July 1st on the leaked listing. Part of me did wish I waited for the stadium because I saw it was like $49.99. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, you could definitely have waited, but the stadium came out in July. So a lot of people maybe have had it since July, August, September of last year, and you got probably got a lot of usage out of it already. It's probably been put in its value of the $50 you spent on it, like, already. And it's also I think still a better shape than the Hasbro one. So yeah, you could have waited close to like a year, but it still isn't the same. So with the stadium, it's tough because it's not like, okay, Arrow Wizard for Hasbro is the same, so you could just wait. But for the stadium, it's a little bit different. So I don't know. I have to use it myself first. X YouTube, yes. I did see that. I don't know if I could watch it though, because I don't want to get in trouble with like copyright.
In Xenon City, everyone dreams of going pro. Welcome to the X, where blading dreams.
But it's like nothing special. It's really nothing special.
Become reality.
It's like become reality. Beyblade X. Beyblade X. But it's like, you see the Prove, you hear the Prove song, so I'm hoping that means it's confirmed that Prove is going to be the theme song for the Western dub.
Strategy. These unlikely teammates are going to need everything. Two, one, let it rip.
Let it rip. Let it rip. So yeah, that was cool. That's really it though. Awesome stream, my dude. Thanks for coming along, T&J. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you coming and checking out the stream and hanging out and talking about some of the Beyblade X stuff. So I haven't used it as much. Yeah, you will though. You will. The stadium will put in its worth over time. I'm just going to assume the release month stated on Entertainment Earth is wrong then. Yes. So whenever the first stuff started to go up in Entertainment Earth, it said March, and I pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered pretty much everything that I could, just in case, just in case. And sometimes they, back in the burst days, they shipped stuff pretty, not early, but pretty on point. And then they just I just stopped looking through them. But yeah, that March date changed to April, and now we see a lot of April stuff, and I assume that'll get pushed to May. But I would not be surprised if, since the release date is, we'll say July 1st, if we start seeing some leaks maybe in May or June. But yeah, Hasbro crossover. That's interesting, because remember, Dranzer was one of the first X-Bays released. It was in that initial lineup, and we have nothing for it. Nothing on the double packs, no boosters, no starters as we see here. So maybe that's a different, maybe they're going to put that in a set or something. I don't know what they're going to do with that. Some people have their OG BB. Yep, me. I have my OG BB10s. I have a clear and a black one. They have some cracks at the bottom, like the little lip that goes on the ground, but the actual stadiums themselves, besides being scuffed, which maybe I can fix, I don't know. Yeah, I'll see you, Remix. Thanks for coming along. Why do I keep coming back to this picture? But that is it. That is the news. Let's quickly go through it. There's Sword Dran. Epic. Looks very similar to Takara Tomy, just with a worse launcher. So you got to pay for the better one. Scythe Incendio. There you go. Helm Knight. Boom. Looks very, very, very vibrant. Very vibrant green. Arrow Wizard. Not this. Get out of here. Here's the winder launcher that you got to buy. I'll see you, Joseph. Rage and Helios weren't canceled. Yeah, they were just, yeah, I saw Helios at some point, like once. We probably won't get any double pack stuff for a little bit. This is kind of like a soft, like, here's the main stuff to look at. This is easily the best. Oh, well, the picture is gone, but the Phoenix set is easily the best value set. It's the thing I'm most hyped for. That's why I put it in the thumbnail for my video for today. This is great. I'm probably going to buy like a couple of these, to be honest, because I feel like this is going to be like valuable later on. Like, that's how hype I am. You know, some stuff appreciates in value, gets more valuable as time goes on. I think this set will be valuable later on. Here we have the set. This is going to be like $50. And it has the revised Hasbro X Stadium. Dagger, what did I say? Dragger Dan. And the new Bay, which is Mammoth Tusk. Mammoth, what was it? Tusk Mammoth. I want to say Mammoth Tusk, because I'm so used to the Takara Tomy names. But yeah, we have the black and I'm glad they went with the black and green stadium, to be honest. The white and black was cool. It was fine. But I think the black and green is definitely more like unique Beyblade X. The green ridge, I think, is perfect. And it goes with all their box art and stuff too. I love it. I love it all. What's the news on Pegasus and Valkyrie remakes? I saw your poll. Yeah. So we got to see the 3D. It was like a color model, but we got to see the 3D models of the Pegasus remake and of the Valkyrie remake, and they look pretty good. I'm pretty hyped for the Valkyrie one, mainly. Pegasus looks fine. It just looks like Storm Pegasus. It's just super easy. It should be super easy. We do not know anything about Cobalt Drake yet. We don't know anything about, like, if they are going to do any of the rare recolors, like the gold Hell Scythe. Cobalt Drake, I assume, is going to be a Wave 2 Beyblade. Maybe they're going to wait on that a little bit. But we'll just have to kind of wait and see. But overall, guys, that is going to be it. That is going to be it for the stream. We went over pretty much everything. I don't want to talk, like, really there's not much to talk about because everything is just Takara Tomy. Like, the most interesting things are the Hasbro exclusives, which we've seen one of, and the pricing, which we already know, the stadium, which we've already seen, but I want to see an action versus just kind of guessing. But this is Hasbro Beyblade X, and I am not just impressed, I am kind of stunned, because I was just a doubter and I was expecting like the worst, to be honest. Like, even when we got the announcement that it was going to be basically the same as Takara Tomy and like weight and feel, and that was like a big part of their Takara Tomy's marketing, I was just waiting to be let down. And sad to say that as like a Beyblade fan, you know, because I was like, at least I have Takara Tomy, and that's going real, like, sales, like Beyblade X is selling like hotcakes in Japan, apparently. Like, apparently it's really popular. So I'm hoping it's like that here in the US. But I was just kind of expecting to get let down. And dang nabbit, Hasbro did not miss. They did not miss. They cooked. They cooked. They cooked it perfectly. That is an unexpected Hasbro W. Straight up. Exactly, Lloyd. Yes. Unexpected Hasbro W. So, what a great couple of days. What a great couple of days for Beyblade fans. You had Japanese Beyblade Day, which we got more information on tournaments and big tournaments, remakes and some collaborations. We saw some UX stuff, but an even better day for Western Beyblade fans, where we get the info drop on the new generation, and it looks good. It looks good quality. It looks great. And so I am extremely excited and very much looking forward to getting this stuff. and I'm hoping it's sooner rather than later. I'm hoping, like, it's funny because, and it's kind of the last story I'll tell. I went to my local Target 2 days ago, and there was no Beyblades on the shelves anymore. It was gone. Gone. Nothing. Okay. They still had some like price tags, but it was all replaced by Aikido and Bakugan. I know other stores have Beyblade still, and it's just mine, but they were gone, and I was kind of happy about that. I was kind of happy to see that Beyblade Burst was not on the shelves anymore, because it just makes way for Beyblade X. Especially my Target. Maybe my Target will get it earlier because it doesn't have to clear out the old Beyblade Burst stuff. Interesting. I never thought about that. That'd be cool. But now, it's still too early, but in, April, mid to late April, May, especially June, unless we get shipped stuff early or like Entertainment Earth comes through, I'm going to be going to my local Targets and actually bay hunting again and having fun doing that, which I haven't done since the Evolution days, which was 2017. Just dropped my headset. Well, that was 7 years ago, over half a decade ago. And now I'm actually going to have fun bay hunting again. And I'm really looking forward to that. Do I miss the old Beyblade series? No. I mean, there's parts I like, but I like moving on to the new stuff. I'm never going to be one of those people that's just like, this series is trash. This series sucks, blah, blah, blah. Metal Fight was the good old days. Tyson is still the best. All the other... let's just move on. We got to move on. Remember the greats. Remember them by remakes and art and merch. But let's not... We got to move on. Thoughts of the new gen on Bakugan? Not impressed at all. Game, not impressed. A lot of the people that I know that were like diehard Bakugan fans are just out of it at this point. I think that's a pretty bad Spin Master L. Okay. But yeah, so bay hunting videos gonna make a return at some point. Bay hunting videos, absolutely. But that is gonna wrap up the stream, guys. I really hope you enjoyed your stay. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching this and you have not seen my news video where I went over everything I talked about on this stream, but a little bit more condensed in short form instead of like an hour and a half, it was like a 9-minute, 8-minute long video, something like that. But I appreciate to all you guys I think that came. I think we hit like 150 viewers or something. I don't know, something crazy like that. But I appreciate it. And we are in a great time for Beyblade. And we are going to get some crazy stuff in the next few months. The second half of the year is going to be wild. And Beyblade is back. Not just for Takara Tomy fans that can import it, but here in the US and Canada, the UK later this year. It's going to be awesome. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I'll keep you guys updated with everything that happens. If you want to see me stream more often, let me know on my YouTube videos or in the stream chat or community tab, whatever. I definitely want to stream more. It's fun. But I will see you in the next one. Have fun and bay away.